Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the very first show of the year 2017. Happy New Year. We have the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce today. How exciting is this? Lorraine Lane is back, our marketing maven of the community. Great to have you co-hosting again.
Great, it's great to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well. And we also have Larry France, our first guest, Suntel Networks.
Thank you.
This is your first time.
It is. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you as well. This is exciting. We're in our brand new studio here. And as you can see, we have Tampa Bay behind us. And it's just a great year, 2017. And in case you're tuning in for the very first time, what we do here on My Chamber TV, which truly is the heartbeat of the community, is we raise the awareness of what's happening in your own hometown. So what we do is we bring business owners on. I love it when we have a co-host because we really get into the nitty-gritty on different charities, the heart of the business community as well. And believe me, they truly have heart. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and talk to Larry about Suntel Networks. I want to hear how your business works, how long have you been a member of the Chamber of Commerce, and just let's talk.
Fantastic. I've been a member of the Chamber since they started. I was a founding charter member. 2014,
right?
2014.
I remember.
There you go.
Okay.
And I've been in the community since 1978. I originally started a copier company here.
Really?
Yep. We were the largest copier company in the west coast of Florida. And we sold that in 1993. And then some time went by, I went into the phone business, telephone business, telecommunications, and started Suntel Networks technically in 2002, and as Baby Bell Networks, and then became Suntel Networks in 2007.
How cool is that? What made you transition from copier business to phone business?
Wow.
The long story?
It's too long of a story. but the underlying commonality between all that was my desire to work with businesses.
So your phone company, tell us what kind of services you offer, what your products are. I want to know more about it. Why do I want to have your phone company?
Right.
Well, Suntel Networks is one of the oldest providers of what is known as hosted voice in all the world. So we were selling telephone service 5 years before the cable companies were. And we were selling hosted voice 8 years before the cable company. So we have a lot of experience, and our little motto is, we know what works. And when you've been doing it that long, on the scale we've been doing it, you do learn to know what works. We have, our associates have switches in Manhattan, Boston, Denver, LA, Tampa, London, and Stratford, which is in the United Kingdom as well. So we can provide local dial tone in all of the United States and in the United Kingdom. So the reasons companies would use Suntel Networks is to obtain a higher level of service with more features than you can obtain from a cable company or even from what used to be the Lex, Verizon, and now Frontier. More features, more capacity for less money.
Wow, you just hit all my hot buttons right there. Because with cable, how many of you have lost phone calls and things of that nature? So with your motto that you know what works, so I'm guessing that you will probably overcome some of the objections that we're having with present telephone services. We
guarantee our companies have an option to be guaranteed their phone service doesn't go down. Even if their internet goes down or their circuits they have go down, they will still have phone service live in their business.
Wow, that's really pretty impactful. I need to talk to you after the show because I'll tell you, there's nothing worse than being on a business call, talking to a doctor, trying to get a good point across to someone on the other end of the line, and they start going, hello, hello, and you're shouting back and they can't hear you.
Right.
What happens with that?
Well, depending on the carrier, such as the underlying carrier, such as a cable company, there's a latency that develops. And when latency reaches a certain level, voice doesn't work. Your computers will still work. People will say, well, our computers are working. Why aren't our phones? Well, because your computers, you don't really know if it's actually on a website, but you maybe not be doing anything on it. And the time it takes for it to refresh is slow enough where you don't notice a lag in latency. But with voice, you will get skips and or one-way conversations and or dropped calls. So there's no tolerance. Voice it doesn't have the tolerance that data has for computers.
Do you know how many years I've been having trouble with my phone with a cable company, very well known, I'm not going to mention the name. This is the first time that I have had someone explain that to me that it really made sense. Nobody else can figure it out. They come out and they give me some kind of song and dance, and they leave, and it goes right back to losing the service and everything.
Right, and whether your service is with that cable company or with another company, as all phone service in the United States is now based on the internet, and all communications are based on the internet. If the internet latency increases, your phone service degrades.
So I would guess what you're going to tell me about is the up-and-coming technologies that will actually affect our phone service, which I can't wait to hear.
So we have pioneered and developed and proven the use of 4G. So 4G is, as you're familiar with, a cell tower, or cellular service.
Okay.
So cell towers are used for not only carrying voice, but they carry data. And we have learned that we can transmit on one SIM card, like you'd have in your phone, 25 simultaneous calls. And cell towers don't go down. They are designed and engineered to be a backbone of the United States. And I believe in the next 5 years, all service will be derivative of or derived from cell towers. So we will move your service off the cable company or off the landline onto the cell tower, using those other services as perhaps redundancy should it be needed.
Wow, this is amazing information. See why we do these shows is to educate you. I had no idea. This is music to my ears. It really is, because with the cable companies, and seriously, you have to do these packages. If you want to pull your phone line, well, then you don't get this discount. I mean, they've got you coming and going here.
Yeah, they do.
That is amazing. So the up-and-coming technologies really is music to my ears. Something else I wanted to ask you is, we have about 7 minutes or so. What is instant chat? I don't mean to sound like I live under a rock, but what is it?
Instant chat. Well, so you have a receptionist, or yourself, you've answered the call, and you say, hello, how can I help you? And the person may say, I'm calling to speak to Dr. Bob or Mr. Smith. And you can see, on looking on your phone, that Dr. Bob or Mr. Smith or Mrs. Smith is on the phone. Well, you could say, well, they're on the phone right now. Can I take a message? But you can't communicate to that person because they may just be chatting with a friend of theirs and they're really waiting for this call. So with instant chat, you could use your computer, send them a chat and say, Larry's on the phone for you. What should I tell him? He would see that and go, oh my gosh, tell him to wait just a moment. I'll hang up. And that way you don't lose that important call that you've been maybe waiting for.
And play the telephone tag.
And play telephone tag.
Very nice, very nice. Wow. So for small business owners, I'm guessing that you can probably overcome a lot of the objections that we have, right?
Yes. The other thing is we offer burstable phone service. So in many businesses, they have 2 lines or 4 lines or 6 lines, whatever. But there's periods of time in the week, of the day of the month, where they have more calls coming in than they have lines available for them, in which case now their customers get busy signals. So we offer burstable phone service, allowing them to take more calls without paying for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, this is getting better and better all the time, right? Larry from Suntel Networks, and I love your motto because, yeah, you do know what works. Let me see how I can trip you up. I don't think I can. Everything I'm asking you, and it's so compelling to know that you can actually now have a phone service that is going to be coming from a cell phone, a tower that makes sense. You're not going to drop calls, right? How affordable is this?
Oh, it costs less money than using the traditional carriers. So, and did you know your cell phone is really nothing other than a computer with apps on it?
Right.
And your cell phone itself, the phone, is nothing more than an app. And you can put many apps on your phone, which means you can have many phones on your phone. And we allow people to put a second phone or even a third phone on their phone. So it rings in different with a different number. You can make you can call out maybe with your business number or another number, and separating your cell phone from your business or other phones.
Oh, I love that idea too, because then it's much more compact. I know several people that carry around a couple different phones.
Right.
Their personal phone, their business phone. So it really does make a whole lot of sense. So I tell you, if you're thinking about changing phone service, why not give Larry a call? Have a little consultation, right? And if you have some specific questions that maybe we haven't touched on today, they really do know what works. I can tell. I think this is really
we will make a difference in their business.
Yeah, I can tell, because you really do have all the answers. And you know what? I never would have thought. I wouldn't have known if we didn't have you on My Chamber TV. And you've been a member since they started in 2014.
Yes.
How's it helped your business?
Oh, it's done very well for us, thank you. We've obtained some of the larger businesses in Pasco County learned about us through the Chamber and through our efforts and my participation in the Chamber.
And you know what? Communication is key. You got to be able to communicate and not drop calls.
That's
and
right.
Save time, right?
And people will say, we'd be lost without our phone service. Well, I say use the best.
That's
we know
right.
it works.
That's right. That is sweet. I love to hear that, because you know, whether it's a personal call that you're making or you're in business and you want to make sure that you use your time effectively. As we know, technology is changing, and I'm so glad that you came on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me.
To share all this updated technology. Who knew, right?
Who knew?
So yeah, so it's really fabulous that we can have this kind of a service.
Thank you very much.
It's Suntel Networks. It makes a whole lot of sense. Think about it. It's a brand new year, and if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired with your phone service right now, and maybe you're dropping calls, or you're like me and you have your phone tied into your cable service and you're ready to pull your hair out, you'll want to get a hold of Larry, because I have a feeling he may actually save you a few dollars. But the best thing is to give you the service that you deserve in your business and in your personal life. Larry, I want to thank you so much.
Thank you so much again.
All right, you and I are going to talk, definitely. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back, right here on My Chamber TV.
Yay.
Great.
You were really good.
If you were injured in a car crash, what would you do first? Who would you call?
You claimed to be injured, yet you spoke to and saw an attorney before you saw a doctor. Is that true?
Yes.
Lawyers on TV tell you to call them first. You can, but should you? The law has changed, and you may find yourself paying your own medical bills if you don't see a doctor in the first 14 days. If you've been in a car crash, you need MyCrashMD, the interactive doctor visit, where you can consult virtually with a physician after you've been hurt in a car accident.
We can see you today. We'll take great care of you, regardless if you are at fault or not.
MyCrashMD is an actual medical visit with a doctor. No waiting in an ER, no wasting time driving around town. Download MyCrashMD free from anywhere and then see a doctor on any mobile device. Times are changing. If you don't get medical attention within the first 14 days after your crash, you could lose your insurance benefits. So if you've been in a car crash, help yourself and your accident case with MyCrashMD.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
And we're back here at My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community. Yes, we are starting out with lots of fun here on My Chamber TV. It's a brand new year, and we have so much to talk about. We're bringing businesses out. We have Lorraine Lane, our marketing gal around town for businesses, and certainly we're happy to have you with us to tune in. We love to raise the awareness on what is happening. We were just talking about phone service and so much more we're going to be getting to. Right now, I would like to introduce Rich Rieger.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
It's so great to have you with us. Now, Trinity Insurance, you're a Trinity Insurance consultant. Tell us about the various businesses that you offer to your clients.
Well, I'm pretty much on the risk management side of the business. I do things like long-term care, fixed annuities, spend a lot of time with senior people on having the right Medicare product, spend some time with retirement planning to help people. A lot of people kind of got hurt in 2008, and they're still thinking they're going to be able to retire at 65, which is a myth. We're all going to kind of be working into our 70s, I think, but trying to make sure they make the most out of their money.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. How is the insurance business like right now for you?
Well, part of my license, which is a 215, includes health care. So we just came off of the big rush for Medicare planning, open enrollment for seniors, and you know, that was really a busy time, and now we're still involved with the under 65, the Affordable Care Act, which I kind of stay away from a little bit. Besides it costing so much for clients, that particular act has caused a lot of insurance companies to kind of fold up. That's agencies, I mean, because there is no more money. The insurance companies won't pay agents anymore. If I sell a $2,000 a month deal, I get $85, and to be honest, that's really not worth it.
Wow. I would think that it's kind of challenging. You know, regardless of what type of insurance that you're in, it just seems like I always have a question mark in my head about health care insurance, because just when you think you just might have it figured out, you don't have it figured out, or you go and they go ahead and file for you, and then you get back and no, it wasn't covered. Oh, and why? And then I never get an explanation.
You're 100% right. The Affordable Care Act was very, very confusing for a lot of people, and that's why they sought out professionals in order to help them. Especially true for seniors, because there's so many Medicare plans, there's so many Part D plans, that they need to make sure that they're choosing the right ones, because for an average person that's 65 years old, they're probably going to spend, a male, probably $96,000 on health care insurance until they, you know, exit. And a female is going to be about $122,000. And that's just rough numbers, and it doesn't include long-term care. It's just talking about what the possibility could be, and you want to make sure you're spending that money the right way.
Exactly, and that's what you are for as a consultant, to make sure that you lead us down the right path.
Yeah, I spend most of my time, or I shouldn't say most, but a lot of my time doing all kind of extra educational units to make sure I'm always up to speed on the absolute latest and greatest what's going on in the insurance industry and how I can help folks. The deductibles, the out-of-pocket maximums for the Affordable Care Act at this point went through the roof in 2016 for 2017. So I try to make sure if I can find them a different kind of plan, one that works better, or maybe a gap plan that will pay their deductible. If they share with me what's going on with them, better chance I can get it right the first time.
You know, the Affordable Care Act went through the roof. It's like an oxymoron.
Yeah, most of the time, and I don't mean to be political at all, because
no, that's fine.
I sell to Republicans, Democrats, Independents, everybody.
Sure.
But most of the people this year got totally crunched and needed a lot of help trying to figure things out because the prices went through the roof.
I just have no comment on that. I'm with you on that. But thank goodness we have people like yourself to really help get people out of that crunch and go down a direction to where they have affordable care, because we need that. We really do. So you do health insurance, life insurance, and long-term care, and you can also help us with Medicare.
Yeah, help with Medicare and long-term care. I kind of focus a little bit more on people that are 45 and above to make sure they're doing the proper retirement planning. Again, making sure they're getting the right Medicare plans. And starting buying a long-term care product when you're in your 40s as opposed to waiting when you're 60 when the prices are just outrageous.
Of course, and then you may have more, may have health issues at that time. That's going to drive it.
My tagline is "You're never more insurable than you are today," and it's so true, because if you're waiting for something to happen, in the meantime, you could come down with something or something change in your health where you become uninsurable, and that's the worst case to be. I'm working with a lady right now who has a large family, and she had a kidney transplant. It's almost impossible to get her insured.
Wow. Yeah.
And that was 4 or 5 years ago. So,
really? So is there any kind of tips that you can give our viewers on insurance that will help them? I know that we all have questions when it comes to Medicare, when it comes to long-term insurance, because we think we're going to live forever, right? Healthy forever.
Yeah, well, the actuarial numbers right now is the average male is going to live till he's 84 years old, the average female till they're 86 years old. And, with medicine breakthroughs and that kind of stuff, those numbers will probably get better. So that means stretching that dollar that you thought you could retire on even further. So tips would be, don't try to do it yourself. You have a team of people like your certified financial planner, estate planner, people like myself that can help you to make sure that you're going to be safe and sound and have peace of mind when you get a little bit older. I'm a member of a Business Networks International group that has 35 to 40 people in it. We're all professionals, lawyers, doctors, Indian chiefs, insurance people, and we are professional. We spend $1,200 a year to be part of this group to help, and we're a team that can come out and help everybody, and it's not just laying just on one person's shoulders. So feel free, everybody, to contact me if I can provide you with a referral to somebody that's great in your marketplace.
And that's really a good point, too, because, and that's the one thing that I really love about the Chamber of Commerce is because they do network. They get in additional networking groups besides the Chamber of Commerce, because that's what we do, right? That's
well, we're
what we
all
do.
kind of network together. I mean, myself, Dan, who's going to be coming in from the Chamber of Commerce, and Don, that'll follow me, we're all part of various different groups here in Trinity. The three of us are part of Toastmasters, where we meet on Friday mornings, get together over at the Holiday Inn Express at 8 o'clock in the morning, and try to get better with our platform skills. And we all know each other, make referrals to each other, and we're all a bunch of professionals, so it works out great.
That's good. Is it can you really seriously buy insurance online?
You can, but it's a very confusing scenario, because you really, I don't cost anything. I'm paid by the insurance companies, so it's absolutely absurd to go on and think you can do it without me. I don't cost anything. And if you make a mistake, you can't make a change.
See, that's why I wanted to bring that point up, because I've had people, ask me about that. Well, can I just go and get my insurance online?
Right.
Don't do that. Have someone like Larry to really, or like Rich, excuse me. I figured I'd mess it up at one point. See,
that's okay.
But it wasn't the last
You're
one.
forgiven.
He set you up to do
He said, I know, right?
It's my fault? Okay.
We're going to blame Rich anyway. But no, I couldn't do that. I couldn't go on half the time. It's figuring out the computer. But the idea is to have somebody that you feel confident, and you said the magic words, the peace of mind. It's worth it to have peace of mind, to be able to understand your insurance and plan ahead, truly plan ahead. And we only have just a few minutes remaining. Any other tips for us?
Yeah, I would just talk, everybody pretty much knows that the Trump rally is not for real, and that we've been living on low insurance or low interest rates for a long time. For those people that are in the market, I would suggest you want to take a look at a fixed annuity at this point in time, because it's guaranteed money for a period of time. You're not going to lose your principal that is guaranteed. Please feel free to give me a call to help you with that, because the market is at its tippy top, and there's nothing out there to make it go higher.
Exactly. Good for you. I'm glad that you're sharing some of these tips, and this is another reason for you to tune in with My Chamber TV. And you have been a member for how long with the Greater Pasco?
Since its inception. I mean, I've lived in Trinity, I work in Trinity, and I think it's great, know most of the people. And I can be found sometimes over in a kiosk in Walmart or Publix selling insurance and trying to help people. So I'm connected.
You're connected, you're available, you're personable, and you're fun.
Thank you very much, and so are you.
Well, Happy New Year, Rich, and good luck to you. And just all you have to do is give him a call, because I think you're going to get a lot of your questions answered, and there's nothing like having that peace of mind. So get with him today and set up an appointment, free consultation, yeah?
Yes, ma'am, everything's free.
All right, we love that. Well, we're going to go ahead and take a brief little time out. Thanks for joining us here on My Chamber TV. We're going to be right back after this.
If you were injured in a car crash, what would you do first? Who would you call?
You claim to be injured, yet you spoke to and saw an attorney before you saw a doctor. Is that true?
Yes.
Lawyers on TV tell you to call them first. You can, but should you? The law has changed, and you may find yourself paying your own medical bills if you don't see a doctor in the first 14 days. If you've been in a car crash, you need My Crash MD, the interactive doctor visit, where you can consult virtually with a physician after you've been hurt in a car accident.
We can see you today. We'll take great care of you, regardless if you are at fault or not.
My Crash MD is an actual medical visit with a doctor. No waiting in an ER, no wasting time driving around town. Download My Crash MD free from anywhere and then see a doctor on any mobile device. Times are changing. If you don't get medical attention within the first 14 days after your crash, you could lose your insurance benefits. So if you've been in a car crash, help yourself and your accident case with My Crash MD.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the sounds of nature. because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
Hi everyone, welcome back into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community. Today we're featuring Greater Pasco, and we happen to have my co-host Lorraine Lane, our marketing gal in the community for businesses, to help you market your business as a business coach. And then, back by popular demand, we have Mr. Don Wright.
Well, thank
from
you, Barbara.
Night Pest Control.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
Yes.
So you're keeping our unwanted little critters away from us in the community, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Well, you know, you were on previously, but it's been a long, long time, and it was fascinating to hear your profession, different interesting stories that you share with us. And how long have you had your business with Night?
We're approaching our 10th year.
Okay. All right. Very good. And you've been a member with the Greater Pasco since the beginning?
Since the beginning, yes, we were. Night Pest Control was a charter member.
Okay. Very good. So tell us, you're in West Pasco, East Pasco, Pinellas, Hernando, Hillsborough.
Yes.
I guess there must be a good, successful reason for that.
Yes, because people in Florida have bugs.
I know we do. Oh, boy.
And we've been very fortunate and very blessed that we've been able to expand. We're actually in 3 offices since I've talked to you. We have an office in Dunedin now, and we have an office that we are in Hernando County over on 50, and of course our office over on Leo Kidd. So we're growing by leaps and bounds. In fact, I think the last time I looked, we're at a 30% growth rate. So,
wow.
Yes, we're doing
Congratulations.
very well. Yes.
Well, I know, yeah, we're in Florida, right, Lorraine?
Right.
And we do have bugs and everything, but you know what? There's got to be more reasons to that. Is it your customer services? Is it the products that you're using?
Well, I think we've always had outstanding customer service. Last time I was here, we had Mr. Knight, who has a 30-year experience. He's worked throughout the pest control industry. And we also are one of the few small companies that have an entomologist, and that's Randy Stout. And he's a 30-year graduate from the University of Florida. That combined with a dedication to doing quality service and trying to meet the needs of our clients, I think that's why we're so successful.
So it's more or less standing a few steps above the rest then?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We hold ourselves accountable in my company. We try to have on any customer a 48-hour turnaround, which is really important because customers have a low tolerance for bugs in Florida. They expect somebody to be out there as quickly as possible, and we do our best to do that.
Exactly. Now you service residential,
Residential and commercial.
Okay.
Yes.
Inside, outside?
We do. Our primary service is what we call outside only, inside a customer request. We will come in anytime somebody is having an issue, but our primary service is outside. The outside service basically builds out the insects so that you only have to come in on an occasional basis to service an account.
I see. Okay. So what are you finding like right around this time of the year that is pesty?
Well, right now probably our biggest issue is probably rodents.
Really?
Yes, rodents do not tolerate cold weather, so they migrate inside, and usually they find areas in the garage or the attic where they feel very comfortable. They like to nest in the insulation. They'll crawl in grandma's boxes in the garage areas, or if you've got a lot of heavy storage, that's probably a good place for them to nest. They like to be nice and comfortable. They're primarily coming in during the evening hours, and then they're sleeping during the daytime. They're kind of the opposite of what we are.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Ah, that's really interesting. Well, when you say cold weather, we don't have cold weather right now, but when we do, that's when I guess we would probably experience those little...
I think a good window for rodents is probably November through February. That's when we get most of our phone calls, and people not knowing what to do. We come in, we do a lot of inspection on the outside. We determine where they're at. We try to get them to seal them out, or what we call exclusion, and then once we seal them out, then we try to catch what's already there. What we like to do with rodents is basically make it a one-time situation where we go in, we correct the problem, and then hopefully we can make a good pest control customer and sell our other services, roaches and ants.
I see. Well, I'll tell you, it's an interesting profession to really know what you're doing, to go to people's homes, businesses, to attack these things. Because I had one rodent in a house up in Michigan, and I was like the cartoons, up on the table.
Right.
Right. I just didn't.
Well, the state of Florida estimates that there is probably a rodent for every man, woman, and child in the state of Florida. So just figure there's probably about 14 million in there. So
that's
so
comforting.
Plenty to go around.
So if you live in an area where you've got a lot of heavy shrubs, bushes, a reserve area, a water source, somebody that likes to feed their little Tweety birds, somebody that has a lot of citrus trees that they don't pick off the fruit, that's a good place for rodents to come and inhabit.
Ah, so you're like inviting them.
Right, and when you see those little grandmas and they're feeding them the kennel ration or the Friskies cat food, they're probably having a rodent problem as well because of that.
Oh boy.
Leave your dog food and your cat food inside at night.
Exactly, exactly. You know, that's a really good point, and I was just about to ask you for tips. Let me ask you on the one thing that just really makes me go crazy are palmetto bugs.
Yes.
Otherwise known as you know what.
Yes.
They're actually called American roaches.
Oh, you had to say it.
Right. They walk around with little American flags. You know?
Those things are huge down
Yes, they
here.
are.
What
Yes,
is
they
up
are.
with that?
Well, you
They're
have
well
a perfect
fed.
environment in Florida. You have a tropical environment. So I try to explain to people when they live in Florida, the insects basically can live year-round. If it gets too cold, they'll find a nice little shrub or bush or some mulch to live under until the weather warms up, and then they'll be back into your home again. And you know, people don't recognize that with roaches, you only need a 1/64 of an inch crack for them to come in. So if you can see light under a door or a window, so can that bug. So one of the things we talk to people about is sealing cracks around windows and sills, elevating threshold areas so that there's no gaps for the roaches to come in. Even a garage door is an easy access because there's generally gaps around the door. So if there's rubber that needs to be fixed or areas that need to be sealed up and you don't want to have a bug problem, it might be worth your time to go in and insulate around those areas.
Yeah, we don't want those bugs. They're just, and you know, they're startling because they just pop out when you least expect them.
They can move faster than you can see. Yes.
They can get in and out everywhere. How can, I guess, probably having some tips of like your insulation that you're saying and everything.
One of the things I talk to people about is walk around the outside of your house. See if you see gaps around windows and doors. It's worth the extra time and money to go in and seal up those areas because you actually can seal out most of your bugs. Obviously an ant might find an area around a threshold, but for roaches it's generally relatively easy to seal them out. I mean, but if you leave a garage door open, you leave the front door open, they come in off of a pool deck, they're going to migrate in.
And once they're in,
they're going to visit. Yes.
They're going to visit and multiply.
Right. They prefer kitchen and bathroom areas where they can get food and water. So that's where you're going to see the majority of your roaches as well as your ants.
Mm-hmm. So Bill, that's good to know. We only have a few minutes remaining. What made you choose to get into this profession?
Actually, I was in USF, and I had taken time off for the summer because I had just gotten married and I wanted to try something else. I had came in on a pilot program from ARAB Pest Control. I worked for them during the summer, and I seemed to be a natural with it. I was very good about learning about bugs, and I was a good salesman. I was able to communicate, so I thought, well, I'll try it for 6 months, and 28 years later, I'm still in the business.
So you found your niche.
I found my niche.
Everybody has their gift.
Yes, yes.
Well, good for you.
Yeah.
So you've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce since 2014.
Yes.
How's it helped your business?
It's been very good for the business because it's giving us added exposure. You know, you look. I tell people that chamber membership is kind of like if you want to catch a fish, would you rather fish in the ocean or would you rather fish in the stream? Well, the Chamber of Commerce is like that big ocean. There's lots of opportunities to build relationships with other chamber members, and you know, with building relationships, that's how you get business. People only buy from people they like and they trust, and I've been very good at being able to do that.
I can tell, I can tell. Well, if you have been bombarded with unwanted little guests and you would like to get rid of them, wouldn't it make sense for you to go ahead and contact someone who really is in the know and that understands, that can identify your problem? And think about it, it's a new year, and I know you've probably been putting it off, making that phone call, but you know what? Don's here today from Knight Pest Control, full service, residential. Give him a call. West Pasco, East Pasco, Pinellas, Hernando, Hillsborough.
Right.
And probably pretty soon even going even further than that. A 30% increase in your business. That's impressive. I love it.
That's great. Yes. Well, thank you, Barbara. And if you want to remember who Knight Pest Control is, Knight Pest Control keeps the bugs off the round table. Just remember
love
that.
it. On that note, we're going to take a brief little time out. Thank you so much and continued success with you.
Well, thank you, Barbara.
All right.
Thank you for your time.
Stick around. We'll be right back.
If you were injured in a car crash, what would you do first? Who would you call?
You claim to be injured, yet you spoke to and saw an attorney before you saw a doctor. Is that true?
Yes.
Lawyers on TV tell you to call them first. You can, but should you? The law has changed, and you may find yourself paying your own medical bills if you don't see a doctor in the first 14 days. If you've been in a car crash, you need MyCrashMD, the interactive doctor visit, where you can consult virtually with a physician after you've been hurt in a car accident.
We can see you today. We'll take great care of you, regardless if you are at fault or not.
MyCrashMD is an actual medical visit with a doctor. No waiting in an ER, no wasting time driving around town. Download MyCrashMD free from anywhere and then see a doctor on any mobile device. Times are changing. If you don't get medical attention within the first 14 days after your crash, you could lose your insurance benefits. So if you've been in a car crash, help yourself and your accident case with MyCrashMD.
Enjoy tranquil seclusion in an eco-lover's paradise. Paddling through the mangroves where the only sounds you'll hear are the the sounds of nature. Because you deserve to relax on vacation. Visit Pasco County, Florida.
Hi everyone, welcome into My Chamber TV, the heartbeat of our community. And I'm Barbara Marville Kelly. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a great fun show, educational show. In fact, we have Dan Sullivan, Executive Director, back by popular demand.
I know it's been a while.
Whoa.
We've been a little busy.
You've been kind of MIA at times,
Yes.
but it's good to have you back.
Well, thanks for having us.
You've been really burning the candle. I understand that. And so Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Lorraine Lane is still with us, co-hosting as our special marketing maven of the community. But I just want to let you know, Dan has been, you actually got this whole thing launched in 2014. We were there to see it.
Yes.
And bring you on when everything like rocked and rolled right out of the gate.
Yeah, with any new business, we had you have growing pains, and we grew rapidly and felt those pains, and that's why I've been a little absent from the show. We've experienced tremendous growth and trying to deal with that in a proper way.
Sure,
to make
well,
sure
that's
that
a good
we're doing
thing.
what's right for our members, and it's been a great experience. And this February will be our 3rd year with the chamber.
I can't believe it.
Yes.
So how many members are we up to now?
We're at 400 members, and we also knew from the last time we are helping to coordinate Chasco Fiesta, which is a 70-year-old event in downtown Newport Richey. So we're excited to be helping. This will be our 2nd year working on Chasco, so we're excited about that.
And that's a very, very successful event and a fun event too. So
yeah,
congratulations.
It benefits over 26 different nonprofit organizations in the area. So. It's important that we kept the event going and we're able to grow. We've got some new sponsorship going on this year, so we're excited about that to be able to grow the event. It's a 9-day event that has music all 9 days, street parade, a boat parade, car show, golf tournament, bowling tournament. There's a coronation ball where we crown the king and queen each year that the Lighthouse does. So please visit chascofiesta.com to learn more. The website is edited on a daily basis as we add new entertainment, new acts, and new events to the calendar.
That's really cool, and that's coming up March 24th through April 1st.
Correct.
2017. It really is an amazing event. It is.
And one of the new things that we're going to be doing this year, well, not new, but changing. We book these dates in advance, usually 3 to 5 years in advance. And we, in June, found out that the ACM, which is the American Country Music Awards, are on the weekend that we were going to have our country concert. That's a struggle because then we can't get the artists that we want to have perform. So we've had to move it to the street parade. So this year on March 25th, you'll be able to do the street parade and then stay for the country concert. So that'll be new this year.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's very
so
cool.
It'll make for an exciting day on the logistics end, but a great day for our community to be able to come out and spend the day. And we have the carnival running for the kids, so while the parents are watching the concert, the kids can get their wristband and enjoy the carnival.
That is such a fun event, and I'm glad to see that it lasts as long as it does. And you no sooner finish that event, and you're already planning the next one.
Oh yes, it's a 12-month event. Jeff Krenage is our event director for the chamber, and he helps coordinate Chasco Fiesta, and he's actively working on it now, which is why I get to come here and be with you
Well,
guys.
that's great. That's one of the growing pains that you actually resolved. So tell us about your pursuit of trivia, because I remember last time you just get a bang out of talking about that.
Well, and I get emotional too. It happens to me. So In Pursuit of Trivia is an event that we put on that benefits Take Stock in Children. It's a scholarship that's given to a middle schooler that if they keep their grades up and stay out of trouble, they're given a college scholarship when they finish high school. And our Ambassadors Club puts this on each year. This will be our 3rd year doing it. So we've been fortunate enough to have the opportunity to pick our first student, and Lorraine Lane is going to be the student's mentor. So one of our ambassadors is asked to step up and spend the 4 years of mentoring that student, and they'll be able to follow them from their high school career into college. So thank you, Lorraine. That's a great.
That is so great, because being a business coach, that's right up your alley, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's great.
I have my student, and it's really great. It's a wonderful.
And we get to see a lot of the times the progress of that student.
Right.
I had the pleasure of coordinating a spelling bee back in 2005, and that student is Brendan Gorman. He is now an attorney at Proley, LaPorte, and Mulligan here locally, and he is now mentoring his first student.
I love
so
to
it's
hear
come full
that.
circle.
Oh, that's so good.
And it's pretty neat. So with the money that we raise, the Take Stock in Children actually is matched by the state. So we're able to buy a 4-year college education for that student. So the event itself is teams of 4 that we do a Trivial Pursuit. We have a giant spin wheel. That's a colored wheel that we spin, and whatever color it lands on, that is the topic that we pick. So it's sports, entertainment, history. And we have teams of 4 that have to come up with the correct answer. If they have the answer right, they get to stay in the round. If they have it wrong for the first 2 rounds, they have to buy a scholarship to stay in. So they have to pre-purchase, or they can buy from our volunteers. And then we have a wizard. If they are not willing to purchase that scholarship, the wizard will come around and pop their balloons, and they're out of the event. When we get into the 3rd round, all bets are off. You have to get the question right. There's no way to stay in the round. And if you get it wrong, the wizard comes, pops your balloon, and that's how we determine who the winners are going to be and who's still in play.
I tell you, this is exciting. That's why I love doing these chamber shows, because you get a chance to hear so many different fun things that are going on in the community, like this, Pursuit of Trivia. Now, we also have a couple other events. The SCORE CEO Roundtable, January 10th.
Correct. This is something new that we're going to be doing through our chamber. We've had the fortunate pleasure to move our office into the Barrett Hardin office at Suncoast and State Road 54, so we have a new facility there, and we have a 20-person conference room. So SCORE is going to be hosting a CEO roundtable starting January 10th. And it'll be lunchtime, and we'll have food provided. And this is an opportunity for CEOs and like-minded businesses to come and share with each other. You know, a lot of the times people are trying to run these businesses by themselves, and they don't need to. This is a great peer support group that can help them through different trials and tribulations, and it allows the businesses to openly converse about issues or situations that they're having that somebody else might already have experience with.
Very good.
One of the other events that we'll be doing with our Economic Development Council is the Co-Starters. And this is another organization that is geared to help people that are starting either a new business or a new product or an existing business that's looking to analyze their business from top to bottom. So it's a great opportunity for you to internally look at your business to make sure that you're doing everything correctly and whether there's ways to improve. That's going to start January 19th. So please visit our website at greaterpascochamber.com. We have all of this information available there. One of the things that we just came out with our new To Connect magazine. So one of the things that makes our chamber different is this publication. We actually mail this out to the community, 16,000 copies. and it has our full membership directory available to our members in the magazine. And it was our goal, our mission statement is where community and commerce connect. It was important for our members to get connected to the community, and this is our way of doing it with To Connect magazine. And it has a full directory of every member that's a part of the chamber. We also are always looking for articles, things that'll educate the community. This particular month we had an article on Metropolitan Ministries, and then we also had one on the Lighthouse for the Blind. These are tremendous services that are offered for our community, and there's opportunities for businesses to partner with these organizations or volunteer. We recently, our staff got to volunteer at Metropolitan Ministries for the holiday, and it was an incredible experience. They served over 3,000 families through their food pantry and through their toys collection from donations from the community. We want to thank you guys.
Oh, that's great. They're big.
Yes.
Oh, they are.
Well, the nice thing about the local Metropolitan, they're very big in Tampa, but they help support the Pasco organization, and everything that we do and donate to Pasco stays in Pasco. I had the pleasure this year of doing 60 boxes that I put out with the Toys for Tots boxes that I did to the Trinity, Odessa, Land O'Lakes area, where we went back and collected, and we were able to collect, it was about 600 pounds of food for Metropolitan Ministries that we're able to donate back to the organization while we were doing the Toys for Tots collection. Because it was important for me, if we're collecting toys, these families probably need food also.
Oh, that's great.
Yep.
No wonder you're like running in so many different directions.
Yes.
You're getting things done, and I'm glad to hear that, because it's all come together, and it's because you're getting the support with business owners and people in the community, people that are willing to step up, step out, and show up.
Absolutely. You know, Pasco's, I recently did a video with a realtor asking about the area, and one of the things that keeps me in Pasco County is the fact that we're a one-day trip to everywhere. We can be at the beach, we can be on the river, we can be at Busch Gardens, Orlando. Everything that we want to be able to do is local. But yet we're centrally located here in Pasco, and we don't have the hustle and bustle of the city of Tampa or St. Pete, but yet we can access the major sport and events, baseball, hockey, soccer, all of those things are here for us to access. But yet within, the other day me and my kids took a 30-mile bike ride down Pinellas, down the Suncoast Parkway Trail.
Oh, isn't that fabulous?
Oh, yeah.
That is fabulous.
I actually photographed and put on my social media an animal that I've never seen before, and it turns out it's a fox squirrel.
A
really
fox
cute.
squirrel?
He was on the side of the trail, and he was eating acorns or something, and we stopped, and he just let us watch him, photograph him, and I put it on social media asking what it was, and it's a fox squirrel. And supposedly they're in abundance in the area, but I'd never seen one, so it was pretty neat. And then the boys got to see deer running around the woods as we were riding our bikes.
That's great.
And then, you know, that afternoon I could be at the beach.
Right. See, and you know, that is what is so convenient, because we all want everything like right now. So you can live in this community and have all that and more. Well, I want to thank you for joining us today.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's my
this
pleasure.
is great. You've got quite a lineup.
Yes.
I mean, from different charity events, fun events, different things going on. And just check them out. Go to their website. The Chasco Fiesta now is really a great time to start lining up your year for new 2017. Wow.
I had to prepare an email blast today, and I got to change it like 6 times. So I was glad, because now when I go to write it, hopefully I'll remember to write the 17. That's always the tough one.
I know. In January, it's always hard to remember 2017.
16,
Well, you have a great lineup. You have the magazine that has the members and everything. So you want to check out the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce and see what's happening in the community. It's your community, it's our community, and it's a great fit all the way around. Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I want to thank you, Lorraine, for joining us. And we'll see you same time next month.
Absolutely.
All
Appreciate
right.
it.
Thanks for
you.
joining us.